Joy on mentioning EIF and women streaming in EIF. And of course, through ITC, the tourism promotions of putting women in there would be really a significance. And especially from your experience of in Vanuatu of having the cruise ships, and then you can start from there and make sure that everything's all in the value chain. I would like to introduce the Miss Ellis, Amanda Ellis. She's from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade, New Zealand. Miss Amanda Ellis is the Deputy Secretary for International Development from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade, New Zealand. Please, you have the floor, Miss.
Thank you very much, Chair. Former US Secretary of State Madeleine Albright said that there was a special place in hell for women who didn't support other women. I think there might be a special place in heaven for men like the Ambassador and the Chair, who are doing such a good job in supporting us. I have a very short presentation, if you could load the slides, to augment the presentations from my colleagues from the Pacific, looking at the experience in Tonga, before I tell you about a very exciting new public-private partnership. So this gives you an idea of the kind of work that the New Zealand aid program has been doing in Tonga, and I hope you can read it, it looks a little difficult from here, to help maintain Indigenous assets and to help promote them. Letty talked earlier about the difficulties of some of our African sisters who are not necessarily well educated, and there are similar issues in some of the remote islands in the Pacific also. The importance of being able to preserve cultural heritage and Indigenous assets for tourism is an important one. And this showcases the work that the New Zealand Aid Program has done with Tonga. There were 221 local women who worked with an NGO, and the idea of trying to create design that would be demanded by cruise ship passengers, which was the issue that Letty raised, was one of the initial issues that was addressed. And we were very pleased with the results of the pilot because the women were able to earn money which they used to pay school fees. Now, the ambassador talked about the importance of going to scale. And this one pilot was, I think, a very useful introduction for us to see how we might move up the value chain and do some additional work. Now, last year in May, Patricia Francis and Anne Sherry, who was referenced earlier, the CEO of Carnival Cruises, and I were on a bus in China. And I had just told them that I was leaving the World Bank, the gender unit, and was going to head the New Zealand Aid Program. And Patricia and Anne immediately said, well, what are you going to do for women? And I had heard about the pilot in Tonga, and they both said, well, look, we have to create a public-private partnership between ITC, Carnival Cruises, and the New Zealand Aid Program. And that is, in fact, what we have done. So we are now working on not only the agribusiness, so how we can source and purchase from women-owned businesses in terms of agricultural produce. We're also looking at how Carnival Cruises can work with local chambers of commerce and local vocational training organizations to ensure that their commitment to employing women on the cruise ships can also be met. So I would just like to finish by saying, or quoting, in fact, one of my heroines, Gertrude Mongella from Tanzania, who said, It's not enough for women to enter the halls of power. We need then to rearrange the furniture. And I would like to pay special tribute to Patricia Francis, who has not only rearranged the furniture in the ITC, but has created a platform for so many women globally to really be part of the $57 trillion economy that Elizabeth referenced in her first presentation. So Patricia, all credit to you, all power to you, and we're very excited about our public-private partnership to take this right across the Pacific with the cruise ships. Thank you. And of course, that plays into the oceans.
Thank you so much for your comprehensive speech and presentations. I'm really impressed that the New Zealanders have done a lot in scaling up the women's participations from the NGOs all the way up to the public-private partnerships there. I thank you also for saying that I support women, because I have 5 sisters. And I'm the only person here as a male in the family. And I have one child who's happened to be a lady also. So I'm the only person, so I wish I can be like the same thing, you know. I'm a minority in 2 or 3 generations already. So, so that's conclude the speakers, and they are very important, great, a lot of thought-provoking and very important opinions that we need to keep, and also the reporters have done. And I think that we would like to pose to you just a couple of questions so that our speaker can respond quickly before we can go at 7 o'clock. Thank you. Anybody who would like to raise the questions? Yes, please.
My name is Elizabeth Benham, and I'm the International President for Business and Professional Women. We're in 96 countries with over 30,000 members, and we span 5 continents. Our goal is, of course, to increase women in business and the professions. We do that through the many programs that we run internationally. And I think that for us, we see our role as an NGO clearly bringing to this unbelievable platform of trying to connect and collaborate and educate and trying to bring all the stakeholders together. We feel that we bring the value to that and the glue that could bring it together. But particularly, I'd like to just ask a question of some of the speakers is, in listening to all of the discussion today, clearly from our speaker, Liddy, it's very broad and very deep. And one question that came to mind for me is to identify clearly the market trends that would be, could evolve all of these entrepreneurships from micro up until medium enterprises. And I think this is where ITC and We Connect and the collaboration that we are working with together really become very much more evident in what we bring to the table, because ITC with its network clearly is very much engaged right down at the field level. We Connect with its multinational corporations clearly have an idea on the trends that are required, and a network like ours clearly can do the educating and the advocating and so on. So I think that that's one idea of how we can move forward in this process of getting women up into the value chain. So it's not really a question, I think it's just a comment. I think. Is that true?
I would think it's very good questions. probably lay out to all the speakers here. Perhaps maybe if you want to start, and perhaps maybe Patricia also at the end, we would like to hear from you also on these comments. Very, very important comment, and also would like to, but first of all, I would like to lay out to the speakers. Would you like to start, Elizabeth? Just quickly.
Very quickly, I think that, as you said, there's a role for every organization in this room. It's not possible for any one of our organizations to do this work. There is a lot of work to be done. The women have to be found. The capacity has to be developed. The technical assistance has to be provided. The funding has to be available so that when they have a contract opportunity, they can actually deliver, they can scale. And so I think there is a huge opportunity. The question is, are we willing and able to do what it takes to get organized and put our time and our resources behind this so that everyone benefits? It's not really about the women, it's about all of us. Women happen to be an amazing channel for economic development, job creation, and community enhancement.